Do you suffer from a sore back, aches and pains that bug you all day, tight shoulders, low body confidence? The wait is over. Call the 1-800 number on your screen now and get a breast reduction for just $25. That's right, $25. For 25 Canadian dollars, you can be booked for your very own breast reduction next week. But hurry, because this offer is exclusive to Canadians. So call the 1-800 number now and you can receive your very own breast reduction for just $24.99. That's right, $24.99. Side effects may include, but are not exclusive to, back pain relief, overwhelming confidence, physical weight off your shoulders, new sex drive, and constipation. Call now for the deal of a lifetime. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Courtney and you can call me Courts, and today I'm doing a video that I have been wanting to do since I started my YouTube channel. I'm sharing my breast reduction experience with you. Before getting my breast reduction, I remember turning to YouTube and looking up videos similar to this one because I wanted to know what other women had gone through, what they experienced, what I should expect, any questions I didn't know I had that I needed to have answered. Like, I went from being a double D cup to a solid B cup. I wouldn't change a thing though. Like, I don't wear bras. I haven't worn a bra in 4 years. I saved money on not buying bras. I personally am advocating for the free the nipple movement. So if you see my nips through my shirt, sorry, I'm not sorry. I don't care. It's just skin to me. So I'm so happy that you made it here, and I hope that this answers some of your questions. Last year was actually the 4-year anniversary of my breast reduction, so I can't believe it's been that long. I wanted a breast reduction though. As soon as I heard it was a thing, I wanted one. A little bit of backstory: when I was 18, I moved from Calgary to Vancouver to study acting, and I kept up with my Alberta documents. I didn't switch from being an Alberta resident to being a BC resident right away, but I knew that I would have to eventually. I wanted to take advantage of my Alberta healthcare while I could, because I knew it was going to be really hard to find a family doctor in BC, let alone one that would be able to refer me to a surgeon. So I planned a trip to go home to Calgary just to meet with my family doctor to see if she could get me a referral. The day that I was supposed to go in there, my doctor was out sick, so I was with some complete stranger. She was pretty cold, and when I asked her for the referral, she looked at me and said, "Are you not happy with yourself?" To which I just said, "No, that's not the case. I'm in serious pain. I have back pain." I was actually surprised that she even put the referral in. I thought she was just gonna say that she did it and then not do it. That's how cold she was. But she did it, and a few months later, I got a call from the surgeon's office saying that he was available for a consultation, which, hell yeah, huge win, but I was in Vancouver at the time, so I had to literally schedule a flight home, go home just for the consultation, and then fly back to Vancouver. So I meet with the surgeon for the consultation, and it's essentially just standing in front of a grown man topless and trying not to make it weird. But he was very professional. He assessed me and he told me that I would be a great candidate for the surgery and to schedule myself on the way out. So that's it. That's what I did. I left the surgeon's office looking at my mom like, seriously, like, this is happening? He was so cavalier about it, I guess. I was just like, I thought this would be a bigger process. I met with the receptionist on my way out. She literally wanted to schedule me in that week, like a few days later. And I was like, lady, I got a flight. I got to get out of here. Like, I can't, what? So I thought I would kill birds with stones and schedule the surgery over Christmas time so that I could come home, be with my family, and get the surgery done, and take just enough time off work to have a nice holiday visit and recover. So my surgery was initially scheduled for January 2nd or 3rd, but it got pushed to January 11th, which happens, but that meant that I cut my recovery time in half. I ended up going home 1 week after surgery, like going home to Vancouver a week after surgery, which was dumb. Like, I should have rested for longer than a week, 100%. The day of the surgery, I arrived at the hospital at 7 a.m. It was real early. My surgery was scheduled for 11 a.m. So me and my mom hung out in the hospital for a little bit together, and then they bring you into a pre-op room where they get you into a gown, and they have the anesthesiologist and the surgeon come assess you and just sort of remind you what's happening, fill you in for the last time, pretty much. It wasn't until the anesthesiologist came in and spoke to me that it hit me that this was actually happening, that this was real. This was actually a real thing. It wasn't an episode of Grey's Anatomy, I'm really doing this. And I started to get anxiety. I was so nervous. And the anesthesiologist he was being kind of a dick. He made me feel like I was a waste of his time, or like he just played it off like it was not a big deal that I was there. Like I was not a big part of his day. Like I was just like another grocery that he scans at the checkout. I don't know. I just felt like that. So I was like pissed. I remember him leaving him. I was like, Mom, he's such a dick. And like now I'm super nervous because he was just also so cold. Like I know you do surgeries every single day, sir, but I don't. But I was there and I was committed and I was going for it. Because there was nothing physically wrong with me, they actually just have you walk into the operating room as opposed to like being rolled in, to which my mom was like very surprised. She's like, why aren't you rolling her in? And then the nurse was like, there's nothing wrong with her. She's fine. She just has big boobs. Walk in, and that was the most intimidating part because I swear to you, there was a nurse like sharpening her scalpel. I hop up on the table and I lay down and I was starting to freak out. I remember grabbing the nurse and telling her, I was like, I just want to let you know I'm not allergic to anything. I'm just having anxiety and these are hives on my chest from anxiety. And she was like, okay, sweetie, it's all good. And then the anesthesiologist comes out of nowhere with the mask and tells me to count back from 100. And that was it, lights out. I woke up in the post-op room. I had no idea of what time, day, year it was, but I remember I needed to speak to the anesthesiologist. I was pissed. I was like, where is he? I need to talk to him. And the nurse was like, he's here somewhere, and she calls him over. She made a joke. She was like, honey, he's actually married. And I was like, bitch, do you think that I'm out here like crushing on my anesthesiologist? No. But I remember telling him, I needed to tell him that he did a great job because I was out, I was gone, I was a ghost. Aside from that, I don't really remember much except being super groggy. They of course make sure that you're healthy and okay before they discharge you, but it's not an overnight surgery. You don't need to stay there overnight for recovery time. They make sure you can pee and then they get you out because they need that bed, and you just had a breast reduction, so go home, get some rest. The next day, literally my mom got me out of bed and she was like, get up, we're going to Walmart, you need to walk around. She would not let me have one day. Mom, I know you're watching this, don't deny it, but I'm taking this chance to thank you because I think the reason why my recovery happened so fast and so painlessly was because she got me up that first day and we just did something simple like going to the grocery store. We went to Walmart and then I got frozen yogurt with my best friend. But that was enough to like, I guess, activate my body to be like, oh, right, we're doing a thing. And I can honestly say that I was never in any pain at all. From the time I had my surgery to the time I fully recovered, zero pain. If I could describe it, I would say that it's mostly just uncomfortable because they literally take your skin and reshape it. So my chest was super tight. I remember like having to hunch because the skin was just so tight and I didn't have the elasticity in it to like sit up fully yet. So I was a little hunchback for a while. Maybe like lived with that feeling for like a week and a half. I will recommend this surgery to anybody who asks me about it because I can honestly say that it was painless. It was more painless than going to the dentist. So I am so lucky to live in Canada where I can have things like this covered. It literally cost me $25 for the surgery. All I had to do was go and pick up my prescription T4s from the pharmacy, and because I didn't have any extended coverage, it was 25 bucks. So all I paid for the whole experience was $25. Go Canada. They do recommend that you take like 6 weeks off of work though, or 6 weeks to recover anyway. And you're not supposed to lift over, I think, 10 to 15 pounds. I was never recommended like any exercises or anything that could like speed up the recovery process. Just to be gentle with yourself and know your pace, know what you're capable of, know how you're feeling. And I think I was like mentally prepared to be in like a state of recovery. So I think that also sped it up. Like it's honestly, your mind is so powerful. If you go in thinking positively, I swear your experience will go smoothly. Something most of my girlfriends ask me is about scarring, which to me didn't matter at all. One of the biggest risks of the surgery is that you may or may not be able to breastfeed, which at the time, 21 years old, I was like, I'm not having kids. I don't give a, take it. Ain't no baby needs to be attached to my boob. No, no, no. I didn't really care. I was just happy to have the surgery, which also led me to not taking care of my scars. Like there's a lot you can do to minimize your scars or reduce them afterwards. I bought a little thing of vitamin E oil from BioSilk, I think it's called. I still have it. It's like still half full. I didn't use it at all. But there's a lot that you can do to minimize your scars if that's what you're worried about. It also will depend on what kind of surgery you have. They do a couple different techniques. So there's an anchor technique and there's a lollipop technique. I had the anchor done, so they ended up reshaping my nipple and lifting my boob, which is awesome. If you've had big boobs, you know. I was 21 and I looked like I had the tits of a 40-year-old woman who just had twins. But I was super hyped because not only did I get new boobs, I got new nipples. It was like, literally. During the consultation is where he asked me what cup size I wanted to go down to, and I literally said to him, I was like, take everything, take it all. I don't want anything. If you leave me flat-chested, sir, I will not be mad at you. And I stand by that. A lot of women love the feminine side of having breasts, of making them feel beautiful and sexy, and I was not that. But they are gonna ask you, they're gonna ask you how much you would like to go down by. And that's something that will be different for everyone. People ask me, like, how much did they take, like, weight-wise? And I don't know what to say to that because I honestly couldn't tell you. It couldn't have been more than a pound, though. I'm convinced that it couldn't have been more than a pound. Even though it seems like a lot, it's really not that much. Another thing that can happen is that you can gain weight back in your boobs and gain your boobs back. Yeah, it happened to me. They're not obviously double D. Yes, I did gain weight back in my boobs. It happens. It happens when I get my period even. That is definitely a spot in my body that I will gain weight and it will fluctuate, and I'm comfortable with that, but there's no way that my boobs will ever be as they were, as large as they were. I had somebody ask me on my Instagram if they could just do one boob, and I think it was a serious question, so I'm gonna answer it seriously. Yes, they can. Yes, they can do one boob. There's a bilateral breast reduction and then there's a unilateral breast reduction. So bi, both boobs, uni, one boob. There are people in situations where they just need one boob done, so I would ask about it. It's honestly worth asking about. Having a breast reduction was the best thing I have ever done. I felt so much more confident in my body, in my skin, in my clothes. I could buy shirts that fit. I could buy dresses that fit. I realized I wasn't a medium large. I'm actually a small, extra small. I feel like having a breast reduction just allowed me to be the person that I already was, you know? I'm so grateful that I live in a country where it is so easily accessed. I say this part for the end because I wanted to share some pictures with you guys, but I will leave a little trigger warning. This is it. This is the trigger warning. I'm gonna share a photo of myself a few days after the surgery, so you can see what the stitches were like, what the result kind of was at first. So that's gonna happen right now. If you want to skip to the timestamp in the description, you can click that and then it will be over and you'll miss it. So click that if you need, and if not, this is what I looked like a few days after the surgery. There was some swelling and some bruising. It looks more traumatic than it was, and it looks more painful than it was, but I wasn't in any pain, as I said. I think for me what happened was the actual nerves were completely damaged and I couldn't feel anything. Like, it took me a solid couple of months to even get feeling back in my nipples. I got a nipple piercing because I didn't have any feeling in them. I didn't have too much feeling in my overall breast area afterwards anyway, and I think that's why I wasn't in much pain. This was the first selfie that I took afterwards. I'd gone shopping and I fit into a size small top and I just felt like I had been reborn. It was the first time I felt like true confidence in my own skin in a very long time. Probably ever. This was me though when I was 16 and I was probably at my heaviest and my boobs were probably at their biggest. I love showing people this photo because it truly is a complete opposite from where I am now. That looks like I ate myself. And then lastly, this is what the bandaging looked like right after. I had some gauze over my actual breast and then literally just like an elastic band around to keep everything secure. I remember feeling so happy when this picture was taken, but I look really uncomfortable, but I'm elated because I hadn't seen a picture of myself yet. But of course, there are risks to any surgery, so do your research your surgeon, don't be like me, actually look at what you're getting yourself into. But overall, that is my breast reduction experience. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you would like to like and subscribe, now's your chance. If not, do it anyways. If I could offer you one piece of advice, it would be to not listen to others. Don't let other people influence your decision. I was surprised at people who came to me and told me not to have the surgery or to be afraid of the surgery. And trust yourself, trust your instincts, know what's right for you, know what your body can and can't handle. Make this choice for you and not for anybody else because it's 100% worth it. Hey guys, it's Quartz here. I'm just editing this video and there's one thing that I wanted to touch on that I forgot to mention, which is super important to me. It's that if you want to do the surgery just to change your body because you're uncomfortable with the size of your boobs, I fully support that. That is 100% the reason why I did it. I had some minor pain, but it wasn't enough to actually need a surgery. I just did it because it was what I wanted for myself. So if you want to change the way you look, that's okay. Do it. Nose job, boob job, whatever it is, You have my support. I feel like there's so much to be said, but that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday's rendition of Courtney Does Stupid Things on the Internet, and I will see you guys next Thursday. Bye!